Well, we're back here at the Cave of Science, and we're going to look at how to create a graph for your rocket presentation, and then go ahead and insert that into your rocket to your presentation itself. Uh, really, when we shot the rockets, we only had 2 points we needed to graph. The rocket started at the home plate, and then the altitude was measured at 150 meters away. So really, the 2 points are the X value and the Y value for the rocket where it was launched at, and those 2 points are going to excuse me, are going to be 0, 0. Now the A column typically is going to be your x-axis, and the B column is going to be your y-axis. Now when we took the altitude, your altimeter reader was 150 meters away, and so that is going to be the second point in the on the x-axis. So we're going to put down 150 here. Now your altitude is whatever your reading was, and everybody's is going to be a little bit different. I'm just for the sake of trouble here, I'm just going to put in let's just say our altitude was 85 meters, and so we're going to put that in here. So now we've got our 2 points in here, and now we can create a graph. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can highlight all 4 cells here, or you can highlight the rows A and B. Now if you had a whole bunch of different values here, you highlight A and B would be fine, and I'm just going to leave it like that. From there we want to go ahead and create our graph. Well, as you can see in the toolbar here, we have many different things we can do, but the graph we're going to want to go over to Insert Chart, and it's way over on the right hand side. So we can go to Insert Chart, and we're going to come up with a whole bunch of different types of charts we can use. Now I would suggest that when we insert our chart here or make our chart, you've got Start here, you can switch the rows, columns. There's all sorts of things you can do. It probably would be a good idea. You can go ahead and play with these on your own, but I'm just going to show you what we're going to need for your rocket presentation. So switch over to charts here, and I would go to a scatter plot right here, a scatter chart, and you can go ahead and click on that, and you can see it automatically sets some things up for you. You get the point 0, 0, and then you have your point at 150 and 85, and that's fine. From here you can go ahead and click on Customize, and we can go ahead and put in our chart title. And for this particular one, we just put on rocket flight. So that would be the title of our, oops, let's see, we can grab this and get it back over here. And we have rocket flight. Now if you happen to click that in there, another way you can edit your chart is there's a little drop down arrow on the right hand side, and go ahead and click on that. And from there we can go ahead and edit the chart some more. So we can go back to the edit. Okay, we've got different things we can do here. Again, we put in rocket flight. You can hit the bar here, scroll down, and we want to label the axis. And we always want to label your axis. So the axis on the x-axis, we're going to call it baseline, and it is going to be in meters. You can set a max and min here. This max and min looks pretty good, so I probably wouldn't want to mess with it. You can do all sorts of things with the color here, and I'll let you play around with that. There's many different options you can do. I'm just going to show you the basics here. And we can go ahead and we can update that. So we can update, and we can see we got our baseline in there now. We can click back on here, and we got to get the y-axis back in. So we get our baseline in meters, and we want to go to edit again, and we can scroll down, and let's just drop down again. We want to label the y-axis or the vertical, so there's a little drop down box, left vertical, and we're going to call this altitude, altitude, and again that's going to be in meters. You can again set the max and the min. 0 to 100 is already done for you, and that looks pretty good. So we can probably just leave that alone. And again, there's different things you can do on here. And let's go ahead and update that. So it looks pretty good. We can click in it again. You can go back in. You can go to Advanced Edit, and there's different things you can do in here. We can put a trend line in if you want. We can put a linear one in, and there it gives us our line, and so we can update that. And there's really our graph that we need. From here, fairly simple step, you can go ahead and if you want to copy it, and in Google I would use Control-C, and let's go to a presentation, go to a slide, and then hit Control-V, and you can see that that is in there, and again you can move this around as needed into your slide. Oops, I think I put it in 2 times, so we get rid of one. So there's how I put that in there. In Google, quite often Control-C to copy, then Control-V. And so this would take care of your graph or your rocket presentation. And very, very straightforward. If you want to play around with it more and put more data in there, or background colors and so forth, feel free to do that. So we'll leave that there, and we will talk to you later.